Right, here we go for Saturday's racing in Yuloland. I kind of like that. I think it was Barney that started all of that. But let's get on. And do remember, it's going to be every race, every day, from Aintree starting on Thursday, the Grand Nationals on Saturday. But there's lots of great racing from Merseyside in the run-up to the nation's favourite race. Now we've got a bit of racing at Haydock Park on Saturday with the Pertemps finals, while Caroline is at Cork but keeping an eye on things at Fairyhouse too. So for the Pertemps Network Challenger Stayers Hurdle Series final handicap hurdle, I'm going with Jaysella du Moulin. I was tempted to throw my lot in with December's course and distance winner Super Survivor, but carrying top weight in this hot final just made me a bit uneasy. Hope I'm not proved wrong, as Super Survivor does look a decent each-way angle, but for the win, I'm going to go with Paul Nicholls' Jaysella du Moulin. He's been progressive enough this season, winning at Ascot and Doncaster, and with good 2 soft ground no worries, I'll be expecting a big effort for the hat-trick under Harry Cobden. Dan Skelton's Blue Carpet rates the big danger for a yard that does place runners in handicaps well, and these are my 3. And now let's get over to Caroline at Fairyhouse.
Thanks, Jaysella, and for the Novice Handicap Hurdle Series final, I think that there is every chance that Blow Wind Blow can win this listed contest. Now, I've said that, I do like the form of Willie Mullins' Fill Your Eye, who followed home Zanouche back in December and won a maiden at Punches Town the last day with plenty in hand. But Blow Wind Blow has just been edging favouritism in the markets this week, and I do think that's justified. Gordon Elliott's Tip of the Wings would be 3rd on my list, but I'll stick with Blow Wind Blow for the win. Next up at Fairyhouse, it does look like Carbow is the stable first string with Paul Townend aboard, though Mark Walsh obviously partners J.P. McManus's Davy Crockett, and that is good enough for me. Carbow was a close enough 6th in the county hurdle at Cheltenham the last day, but this does look to me an easier task, so he gets my vote. Davy Crockett is on a featherweight mark, so can go close, while Mercia is one to note, but Carbow is the one. Now my Saturday nap is down on the Mallow, lining up in the Cork Stakes. Well, with big race jockey David Egan coming over to take the ride, I think Bucanero Fuerte is going to be a hot favourite to win this. Last seen at Del Mar in the Breeders' Cup meeting, Bucanero Fuerte goes well fresh, and despite the wide draw, he's got to be the one to beat for the up-and-coming Robson Aguiar. Paddy Toomey's King Kwan was in the Champions Sprint Stakes at Ascot back in October, so has to be respected, and Navassa Island makes my 3 with Colin Keane booked. Bucanero Fuerte to show his class and win first time out for the 4th season running. My next best is later on the Cork card, where I'll side with We Might Take D Long Way. Last seen 7th in the Champions Fillies and Mares Stakes at Ascot, We Might Take D Long Way does look the class filly in this field. Whether she can win first time out is the big question, but with Ryan Moore taking the ride, I'm sure Joseph O'Brien will have her ready to go. Paddy Toomey's Ilana Osario would be the one to pick up the pieces if We Might Take D Long Way isn't fully tuned up, but I'll stick with Joseph O'Brien and Ryan Moore to do the business.
Thanks, Caroline. And so back to Haydock earlier on, where Dance and Glance lines up in the Pertemps Network Challenger 2-mile hurdle series final handicap hurdle. These Pertemps finals are always really competitive, but you know what? I'm going to stick my neck out and tell you Dance and Glance is winning this. Back on better ground than when trying to stay up with the pace on heavy ground at Newbury Park last time out, this looks a bit easier than that listed race, and I reckon Anthony Honeyball's gelding is still on a fair mark. John Joe and AJ O'Neill's We're Red and Blue put in a bit of a career best in the Imperial Cup at Sandown last month, just finding the finish a bit stiff, so gets onto my list with Jack Jones's Mr McLaughlin, a decent each-way punt, if that's your thing. Yep, Sam Twiston-Davies is on Dance and Glance to foxtrot to the front and take the 2-mile hurdle final. Now back to Caroline at Fairyhouse.
Thanks, Jaysella, and I'm thinking that Gavin Cromwell's Bioluminescence can get back on the winning trail in the listed mares handicap chase. This is a big drop in grade for her, and having chased home Dino Blue in the Opera Hat the last day, there's some substance to that form with Dino Blue landing the mare's chase at Cheltenham last month. Kilbarry Saint has been topping the markets this week, but her win at Clonmel the last day was on soft ground, so although this is a sharper trip for Bioluminescence, I do think she'll be right there when it matters at this level. May Call You Back is £4 out of this handicap, but could figure, but Bioluminescence should be winning in this grade.
For the veterans chase final, there's plenty that could be winning this, but I've got to stick my pin somewhere. So guard your dreams it is. Let's say he didn't get too far in the plate at Cheltenham last time out, brought down at the first, so I'm hoping he's still in tune just 3 weeks later and primed for a big run. Toby McCain Mitchell takes off £3, so it all helps, and he's got a bit of class about him having won the Grade 2 International Hurdle at Cheltenham in 2021. Not totally exposed after just 10 chase starts, so Guard Your Dreams appeals to me for this veterans final.